Before we delve into his unforeseen return, let's cast our minds back to why Caleb Odell held such a profound significance for everyone at Heartland. From the moment he first arrived, Caleb wasn't merely another character. He embodied the spirit of resilience, a charming cowboy with a knack for getting into scrapes but an unwavering loyalty. He entered Lou's life as a brash bull rider, initially dismissed by many, especially Tim, but he quickly became a fixture at Heartland. What began as a transient presence evolved into a new chapter. Over time, Caleb matured. He grew from a hot-headed youth into a man who stood by his friends and embraced the challenges of ranch life. Fans witnessed him slowly opening his heart, not only to Lou, but also to Amy, Jack, and even Ty. Caleb's connection with Lou, though tumultuous at times, blossomed authentically. They navigated countless disagreements, faced personal setbacks, and supported each other through career changes and family dramas. Every moment they shared felt genuine. One of the most memorable parts of the show was their wedding. After years of on-again, off-again moments, Caleb and Lou finally exchanged vows. Surrounded by their loved ones, it was a moment of hard-won peace, a dream realized for fans who had followed their intricate story for so long. Later, their journey into parenthood, albeit with different partners, highlighted Caleb's evolving role. He wasn't just a husband and friend now, he was a father, embracing that responsibility with a newfound maturity. But just when things seemed to settle into a comfortable rhythm, a shocking event occurred. In season 16, Caleb vanished after a bull riding accident that left him with severe amnesia. It felt disorienting. Fans were left in disbelief, struggling to comprehend his sudden disappearance. His absence wasn't just an iterative choice, it was a seismic emotional event. Many viewers expressed their heartache, feeling the show was incomplete without his unique energy. For Lou, his disappearance was transformative. She had to navigate co-parenting alone, manage her businesses, and somehow find a way to cope with the void he left. Over the seasons that followed, we watched Lou slowly rediscover her footing. She poured her energy into her daughters, her businesses, and into supporting Heartland. But there was always an unspoken emptiness. Caleb's memory lingered everywhere. In the rodeo arena, at the dude ranch, in the shared laughter of friends. Even when he wasn't on screen, his presence was profoundly felt. That's how deeply ingrained his character was in the very fabric of the story. The writers allowed us to grieve with Lou, not rushing her healing process. And perhaps that's why, when the opening moments of season 19, episode 1, finally aired, fans were completely unprepared for what was to come. The scene begins quietly, a typical morning at the ranch. Amy is mending a fence. Jack's voice carries from the barn, giving instructions. Katie and Georgie's laughter echoes in the background. Life seems serene, even content. Then a figure appears in the distance. At first, you assume it's just another worker, someone new. But as the figure draws closer, something in Lou's face changes. She freezes. Her eyes widen. The camera cuts to a familiar silhouette, broad shoulders, a slight limp, and that worn cowboy hat. It's Caleb. And just like that, the world of Heartland is utterly upended. We don't yet know how or why he's returned. Is it real? A dream? A hallucination? For a fleeting moment? It doesn't matter. Fleeting moment, it doesn't matter. What matters is that for the first time in years, Caleb and Lou are sharing the same screen. And in that instant, everything shifts, not just for the characters, but for every fan who ever mourned his absence. Not every return is dramatic. Some are as subtle as a soft breeze. And yet, those are the ones that resonate most deeply. Caleb didn't arrive with a grand entrance. He simply emerged. And in that quiet revelation, the world of Heartland was irrevocably altered. The episode doesn't immediately try to shock you. It opens like most mornings at Heartland, with the gentle glow of dawn over the fields, horses grazing peacefully in the pastures, and Lou doing what she always does, managing, leading, enduring. It appears to be just another day. Lou is reviewing paperwork, her hands steady, but her eyes betray a certain weariness, a lingering burden. There's peace, but it's the kind of peace that follows a prolonged struggle, the struggle of unresolved loss. Jack is quietly mending tack. Amy is working with a troubled horse. Katie and Georgie are playing nearby. Life continues as it always has, and then something subtle shifts. It's almost too quiet. The chirping birds seem to hush. The air feels different. The camera lingers on Lou's face. She turns. Her eyes narrow, a flicker of confusion. as if she's sensing something far off. And then we see him, a figure in the distance, not running, not calling out, just walking slowly towards the barn. He's in jeans, boots, and that familiar cowboy hat we all remember, the one he wore countless times before. Lou doesn't speak. She simply stares frozen, as if her heart is trying to ascertain if this is reality or a cruel figment of imagination. As he approaches, the camera offers the first clear view. It's Caleb, not a flashback, not a photograph, not a memory. Caleb Odell standing before Lou Fleming, alive, or at least something resembling it. He doesn't speak immediately, he just looks at her. And in that look, there is everything. Love, sadness, bewilderment, and an unspoken history. The kind of emotion only shared by two people who have loved and lost beyond words. Lou's pen slips from her hand. Her lips move, but no sound emerges. Finally, she whispers, "Caleb." The screen fades to black. It's not a dramatic flourish. It's a question the show poses to us well. Is this truly him, or is grief playing a cruel trick? As the episode unfolds, we are drawn into a narrative unlike any other season. The show doesn't offer immediate answers. Caleb is there, but his memory is fragmented. He says he doesn't know where he's been. "It's like I closed my eyes and opened them here," he tells Lou. Some fans are quick to speculate if this is a dream, a near-death experience. Others believe something more profound is at play, a second chance, perhaps even something spiritual. But the way the show handles it is what gives it such potency. They don't rush to explain. They allow us to remain in the ambiguity, just as Lou does. Just like Jack, who walks in and sees Caleb standing there. He doesn't ask questions. He simply pulls Caleb into a tight hug, tears silently streaming down his face. Amy doesn't believe it at first. She thinks it's someone who strongly resembles Caleb, a misunderstanding, a cruel mistake. But when she sees his eyes, her words catch. There's a flicker of recognition there, a shared history, a family bond that cannot be feigned. Later, Caleb sits at the kitchen table, his hands wrapped around a coffee cup. Jack leans against the doorway, observing. Lou sits opposite him, not eating, not speaking, simply watching his every movement as if fearing he will disappear again. Katie walks in slowly and cautiously, as if not fully grasping who he is. She stares at him, then turns to Lou and asks, "Is that my dad?" Lou nods, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Yes," she whispers, "that's your daddy." Caleb opens his arms tentatively. Katie runs to him anyway, and just like that, Heartland transforms into something new. By the end of the episode, nothing is definitively resolved. We still don't know why Caleb is back. He doesn't remember what happened after the hospital. No doctors, no bright lights, no answers, just darkness and then Heartland. Some fans are calling it a miracle. Others are convinced a twist is imminent, that this isn't the Caleb we remember, or that his time back is limited. But one thing is undeniably clear. This is the most emotional, unforeseen start to a Heartland season we've ever witnessed. This episode wasn't merely a return. It was a resurgence of old sentiments, of new inquiries, and of hope. When someone you believed lost returns, the initial question isn't how, but why. And in Caleb Odell's case, that question is setting the internet ablaze. Heartland fans are no strangers to profound emotions. This show has guided us through heartache, healing, and everything in between. But Caleb's sudden return in season 19, episode 1, has ignited more than just feelings. It's sparked a firestorm of theories. Boy, some are rooted in possibility, others stretch into the realm of the extraordinary. And the truth? The writers are likely offering us just enough ambiguity to make any of them seem plausible. Let's begin with the theory sending shockwaves through fan forums. Caleb never truly died. According to this idea, Caleb was somehow forced into hiding, perhaps to protect Lou and their family from an unseen threat. Some fans speculate he became entangled in something far more complex off-screen, possibly related to his past or even a danger stemming from his rodeo career. In this version, his disappearance after the accident was orchestrated or faked, perhaps with the assistance of a sympathetic doctor or an underground organization. It sounds outlandish until you recall how many shows have successfully pulled off similar plot twists before. But would Heartland, a series renowned for its grounded realism and authentic emotion, venture this far? Then there's the parallel universe theory, less dramatic, yet no less captivating. In this version, Caleb's return isn't about deception or secrets. It's about intersecting realities. Some fans believe the Caleb we now see originates from a different timeline, one where he never suffered the accident. And somehow these two timelines have begun to converge. This would account for his fragmented memories, his apparent uncertainty about his whereabouts, and his deep emotional connection to Lou despite the missing years. It also aligns with Amy's long held belief in unseen energies, connections, and the unspoken bonds between soulmates. Could the show be subtly introducing a sci fi element without sacrificing its emotional core? A third theory is more emotional than logical, and perhaps the most poignant of all, the grief manifestation idea. In this theory, Caleb isn't physically present. He's appearing to Lou as a vision, a spiritual presence, or even a message from beyond. Not precisely a ghost, but a guiding light, here to assist Lou in making a crucial decision or to convey that it's finally time to move forward. After all, Heartland has always incorporated moments of reflection and remembrance. Remember when Amy conversed with her mother's spirit, or when Jack dreamed of his late father during times of struggle? This theory preserves Caleb's absence, but adds a deeply resonant emotional layer. Perhaps he isn't alive, but he is here, and that is precisely what Lou needed most. Another popular explanation among fans: it's all a dream, a cruel one, or perhaps a healing one, depending on how the season unfolds. In this version, Lou is dreaming about Caleb in such vivid detail because she's at a pivotal point in her healing journey. Perhaps she's on the verge of finding love again, and her mind is trying to provide her with closure. Perhaps she's facing a crisis, and Caleb is appearing as a means to guide her back to strength. If this proves true, it's possible the entire first episode, or even the initial few, are dream sequences. Some fans would be devastated if this turns out to be the case. Others believe it would make perfect emotional sense. And then, of course, there's the unsettling theory, the one no one dares to vocalize. What if Caleb isn't truly Caleb? What if he's someone else? Someone who looks like him, talks like him, perhaps even believes he is him, but isn't. This theory hints at something darker. Some believe he could be part of a deception, a long-lost twin, or someone with a concealed agenda. It sounds far-fetched, even disrespectful to Caleb's legacy. But the strange gaps in his memory, the quiet bewilderment in his eyes, it leaves just enough room for doubt. Whatever the truth may be, the writers are keeping this one very close to their chest. The episode offered just enough detail to make us believe he's real, but not enough to confirm it. No medical records, no explanatory flashbacks, just presence, emotion, and silence. What's brilliant about all of this is that the showrunners haven't confirmed anything. No interviews, no leaks, no behind-the-scenes spoilers. And that silence is driving fans wild. Every forum, every comment section, every fan theory video is desperately trying to make sense of it. But perhaps, just perhaps, that's the entire point. Perhaps we are meant to feel what the characters feel, confused, hopeful, scared, and brimming with questions. In the world of Heartland, emotions take precedence. Logic often follows. And for now, all we know is that Caleb O'Dell is back. Whether it's for a moment or forever, it only takes one heartbeat to change a family. Caleb didn't bring a storm. He became the profound stillness after it. But when someone you've mourned walks back into your life, nothing remains the same. Not your thoughts, not your feelings, not even the truth. Caleb O'Dell's return isn't just about him. It's about everyone else who built their lives around his memory. The moment he steps back onto the ranch, the very ground begins to shift beneath every character we've come to cherish. There are no simple reunions here, no perfect embraces or tidy explanations. Because when a memory takes on flesh again, everyone is compelled to question everything they thought they knew. Lou is at the epicenter of this emotional upheaval. For seasons, we've watched her carry the weight of Caleb's absence with quiet strength. She navigated co-parenting, managed her demanding career, and slowly found pieces of herself in her independent life. Her healing wasn't swift or dramatic. It was gradual, authentic. She learned to smile again, but that smile was always tinged with a shadow of loss. Now Caleb is back, and the woman Lou has become the mother, the businesswoman. The survivor is suddenly standing before the man who once made her who she was. She doesn't know whether to rush into his arms or flee. How do you explain to someone that you've already let them go? How do you share the grief they never experienced? Lou's internal conflict isn't expressed loudly. It's in her silence, in the way she looks at him, as if afraid to believe, as if fearing he will vanish once more. For her, Caleb's return isn't just shocking. It's terrifying because it means she might have to reopen a part of her heart she spent years carefully sealing shut. Katie, their daughter, is too young to fully comprehend the depths of grief, but she does understand love. And something within her recognizes Caleb not as a stranger, but as a comforting presence she has always felt. She runs to him without fear, with the pure intuition of a child who never stopped believing her dad was out there. For her, it's simple. He's here now. That's what truly matters. But what does this mean for her future? Does she finally get to grow up with her father, or is this return merely temporary? Another wound waiting to happen? For Jack, the steadfast patriarch of the ranch who always had a soft spot for Caleb, the return hits differently. He doesn't demand explanations. He doesn't need immediate answers. Jack's love was always unconditional, gruff around the edges, but fiercely loyal. The second he lays eyes on Caleb, there's no disbelief, just tears, profound relief, a silent, heartfelt welcome home. But beneath Jack's warm embrace lies something heavier, a hint of guilt, perhaps regret. Did he give up on Caleb too soon? Did he somehow fail him? And if Caleb is back, what else has Jack misjudged? What other parts of the past are still profoundly alive? Amy, always the empathetic one, isn't as quick to fully process it. She searches for an understanding, a connection, something to make sense of what her heart is trying to grasp. Her sister's well-being is paramount. But she fears this is a fragile moment, a delicate situation that could shatter Lou all over again. For Amy, emotional connections are deeply felt, and loss is something you navigate with sensitivity. Caleb's return upends all of that. She wants to embrace the possibility, but she needs to understand. And if she can't find a way to comprehend it soon, it could create an unspoken tension between her and Lou at the most critical time. Even Tim,